Life after 70. Remove these 8 things and feel true happiness instantly. At a certain point in life, the noise starts to fade. The world doesn't spin as fast anymore. The demands, the obligations, the deadlines, they begin to quiet down. After 70, something changes. Not just in your body, not just in your schedule, but deep in your soul. It's a stage of life that many fear, but few understand. And if you're here, listening, it means you're one of the rare ones who still believe that life has more to give, and more importantly, that you still have more to live. Now, here's the truth. This chapter of your life doesn't have to be a slow decline into silence. It can be a beautiful, vibrant rise into peace, into clarity, into happiness. But that kind of happiness, the kind that fills you quietly and deeply, it doesn't come from adding more. It comes from letting go. The world will try to tell you that aging is about loss, that every year is a subtraction, a taking away of youth, of energy, of beauty, of worth. But what if it's the opposite? What if life after 70 is not a loss, but a refinement, a simplification of the soul, a sacred shedding of the unnecessary? There's a kind of joy that only comes when you've seen enough to know what no longer matters. There's a kind of peace that only blooms in the soil of experience. And sometimes, the greatest act of courage is not holding on but releasing. Releasing what hurts, what clutters, what weighs you down. You've spent decades building a life, serving others, carrying responsibilities that often went unseen. Maybe you raised children, held jobs, cared for a spouse, or kept a home running when no one else noticed. Maybe you gave so much of yourself that you forgot you were a person too, not just a provider, a helper, a fixer. But now is your time, not to give more, but to release more, to clear the space for something new, to feel lighter, not just in body but in spirit. This isn't about pretending life hasn't changed. It has. You've changed. But maybe, just maybe, what's ahead of you isn't smaller than what's behind. It's just simpler, more honest, more sacred. And it begins the moment you decide to remove what no longer belongs in your soul. So today I want to walk with you through 8 things you can begin letting go of, starting now. 8 burdens that don't deserve your time, your energy, or your peace anymore. Let's not waste another day carrying what you were never meant to hold this long. Because happiness, real happiness, isn't far away. Sometimes it's just hidden under the weight you've forgotten you're still carrying. Let's begin. Number 1. Remove the fear of being forgotten. It's a quiet fear, isn't it? One most people never speak aloud. But after 70, it starts to creep in the stillness of an empty house, in the silence after the phone doesn't ring, in the way people talk around you instead of to you. The fear that you're slowly becoming invisible, that your life, your presence, your voice might be forgotten. But let me tell you something with all the love in my heart. Your value does not fade with time. It deepens. You are not meant to be remembered because of how loud you were, or how busy, or how many people you could gather in a room. You're meant to be remembered for the love you gave, the truth you lived, and the quiet strength that carried you through a lifetime of storms. That kind of legacy doesn't vanish. It lives on in the hearts you've touched, in the wisdom you've passed down, in the kindness you've shown when no one was watching. You don't need to be remembered by everyone, only by the right ones. And even if they forget the details, God never forgets the life behind them. The Bible tells us, "Even to your old age and gray hairs I am he who will sustain you." Isaiah 46:4. You are not fading, you are being held. So take a deep breath. That fear that your story will disappear, let it go. Because your life is not a candle slowly burning out. It's a light that's already lit others. and those lights continue to shine, whether or not you're there to see them. You're not being forgotten. You're becoming eternal in all the right ways. Number 2. Remove the weight of past regrets. There's a reason the rearview mirror in a car is small, and the windshield is big. Because what's behind us should never take up more space than what's ahead. And yet, as we age, the weight of past decisions often grows heavier. Maybe it's something you said, something you didn't say, someone you lost, an opportunity missed, a moment you wish you could do over. Regret is one of the heaviest things an old soul can carry, and one of the most useless. Here's the truth. You did the best you could with what you knew back then. You loved in the ways you knew how. You chose based on the person you were in the life you were living with the information you had. That's not failure. That's being human. Carrying regret is like watering a dead plant, hoping it will bloom again. It won't. But that doesn't mean life is over. It just means new growth needs new soil. And your future, however long or short it may be, deserves to be nourished by peace, not poisoned by shame. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the story of how you rose after them, of how you kept going, of how you kept loving, even with a few cracks in your heart. So forgive yourself. Speak kindly to yourself. Let the past be the teacher, not the prison. You cannot relive those old chapters, but you can stop rereading them and start writing something beautiful from here. The sun still rises every day, and so can you. Number 3, remove toxic relationships, even family. This one is hard. It cuts deep because it challenges everything we've been taught to accept, especially when it comes to family. We grow up believing that blood is sacred, that we must tolerate hurtful behavior from those we're related to because they're family. But let's be honest, not everyone who shares your blood shares your heart, and not everyone who calls you mom, dad, grandparent, or even friend truly loves you in a way that is safe, respectful, or kind. Toxic relationships don't always shout. Sometimes they whisper in guilt trips, silent treatments, passive-aggressive comments, or emotional withdrawal. They make you question your worth. They make you feel like you're always walking on eggshells, and they drain your spirit until you begin to believe that maybe this is all you deserve. But no one is too old to choose peace. You are allowed to protect your joy. You are allowed to say, "This is not how I want to be treated." And you are absolutely allowed to create space, even from family, if being near them only brings you pain. Setting boundaries is not the same as cutting people off in anger. It's choosing, calmly and clearly, to guard your soul. And if someone truly loves you, they will honor that boundary. If they don't, then their love was never meant to stay this close. You are not selfish for choosing peace. You are not cruel for needing distance. You are wise. And at this stage in life, wisdom should be your closest companion. Don't waste these precious years in the company of people who steal your life. Surround yourself with those who see you, hear you, and honor you, whether they're blood or not. Because love is not proven by DNA, it's proven by action. Number 4, remove the attachment to things you no longer need. We spend a lifetime collecting things, trinkets, furniture, clothes, photographs, old letters, boxes and closets filled with memories, plans, or just stuff. And it's not wrong. Those things meant something. They held stories, comfort, but eventually those same things can start to own us. Clutter isn't always physical. Sometimes it's emotional. Sometimes it's a reminder of a time that's passed and never coming back. And while there's nothing wrong with cherishing what matters, holding on too tightly can block the space your soul needs to breathe. You don't need 5 closets full of clothes to feel whole. You don't need dusty furniture to remember your childhood. You don't need to keep every item just because someone gave it to you 20 years ago. Things don't define you. Your spirit does. And here's the beauty of letting go. When you remove the unnecessary, what truly matters becomes clearer. A room with fewer things feels more peaceful. A shelf with fewer photos tells a more focused story. A home with less clutter becomes a sanctuary, not a storage space. Start small. A drawer, a corner, a single item. Ask yourself, does this bring me peace or pressure? Does this serve me, or am I serving it? And be gentle with yourself. Releasing is not forgetting. It's honoring what once was, while making space for what's still to come. Because you are still alive. And as long as breath fills your lungs, you deserve a space that reflects the lightness you're learning to live in. Letting go doesn't erase your past. It prepares your heart for the joy still waiting in your future. Number 5. Remove the habit of comparing your life to others. It starts subtly. You see a neighbor going on trips with their grandchildren, a friend whose children call every day, someone your age who still seems so full of energy, dancing on social media, surrounded by people, always smiling. And just like that, a quiet voice sneaks into your heart. Why isn't my life like that? Did I do something wrong? Did I miss my chance? Comparison is a thief. It steals joy. It robs contentment. And the worst part? It often compares someone's highlight reel with your behind-the-scenes moments. You see what others want you to see, not their private grief, their loneliness, their regrets, just the polished surface. But your life, your story, it's sacred, it's yours, and it doesn't need to look like anyone else's to be beautiful. The truth is, happiness doesn't come from having what others have. It comes from recognizing what you have and how far you've come. You've overcome things people wouldn't believe. You've loved through heartbreak. You've stood up when life knocked you down. You've endured pain with grace. And none of that is posted online or spoken aloud in crowded rooms. But it matters. It matters more than 1,000 perfect pictures. There is no scoreboard in life, no medal for having the most visitors, the biggest house, the most cheerful holidays. There's only peace. And peace comes when you look at your life, scars and all, and say, this is mine, and I'm proud of how far I've made it. So silence the voice that compares. Replace it with gratitude. Look around, really look at your life. There are blessings hidden in plain sight, but comparison will blind you from seeing them. Choose to see. Choose to celebrate your unique path. Because it's not behind, it's just different, and it's still unfolding. Number 6. Remove the silence around your own needs. For most of your life, you've probably been the one who carried the weight, the one who didn't complain, the one who kept the family together, kept the peace, cooked the meals, remembered the birthdays, stayed quiet even when your heart was breaking. You learned to put others first, and somehow along the way you forgot how to speak for yourself. But now, in this sacred season of your life, it's time to unlearn that silence. Because your needs still matter, your voice still matters, and your feelings are not a burden, they are a signal from your soul, asking you to honor yourself. Speak up when you're tired, ask for help when you're overwhelmed. Say no when something doesn't feel right. Share how you really feel, not the polite version, but the true one. You've earned the right to be heard, not just tolerated. You don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to be the quiet one who endures. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to say, I'm lonely. You're allowed to say, I need someone to check on me too. This isn't selfishness, this is survival. This is self-respect. And the people who love you, they want to know how to support you. They just might not realize what you need if you don't say it. There is no medal for suffering in silence. But there is deep healing in speaking up. Even if your voice trembles, there is power in saying, this is what I need now. You've spent a lifetime being there for others. Now let others be there for you. Let the silence break, and in its place let your truth rise gently, lovingly, and fully, because you are still worthy of care, and it's time you received some of the love you've so freely given. Number 7. Remove the guilt of slowing down. There's a strange expectation in the world that even in old age, we must keep moving, keep doing, keep performing, as if worth is measured by how much we accomplish in a day. And when you start to slow down, when you don't move as fast or remember as quickly, the guilt can sneak in. I'm not useful anymore. I can't do what I used to. Maybe I'm just in the way. But hear me. Slowing down is not failure. It is not weakness. It is not something to apologize for. It's sacred. It's earned. Your body has carried you through decades. Your hands have worked, loved, lifted, created. Your heart has endured loss and kept beating. If now your bones ache and your mornings are quieter, let them be. You are not broken. You are seasoned. And there is wisdom in slowing down. This world moves fast, but that doesn't mean you have to. In fact, maybe the world needs your pace. Maybe the younger ones need to see what it looks like to breathe deeper, walk slower, listen longer, and live more fully in each moment. There is no shame in rest. There is holiness in it. Even God Himself rested after creation. Why should we be ashamed to pause? You are not falling behind. You are finally catching up to the rhythm of your soul, the one that has been whispering all along, take your time. This moment matters. So let go of the guilt. Let go of the pressure to keep up with a race you're no longer running. You've already done more than enough. Now give yourself permission to rest, to move gently, to enjoy the beauty in stillness. The world doesn't need your speed. It needs your presence. Number 8. Remove the belief that it's too late. This is perhaps the most dangerous lie we ever believe. That after a certain age, the door is closed. That dreams expire. That joy is for the young. That love, laughter, change, those things are behind us. But let me tell you the truth with all the fire and love I have. It is not too late. It is not too late to heal a relationship. It is not too late to forgive yourself. It is not too late to learn something new, to start a hobby, to write a book, to make a friend, to fall in love again, to get closer to God, to laugh until your ribs ache, or to do something you've never done before. Age does not disqualify you. It equips you. You are not running out of life. You are arriving at the part that's meant to be savored, not rushed. Maybe your calling now is different, gentler, quieter, but it is no less powerful. Maybe your purpose is to mentor, to create, to finally speak, to share your story, to bless others with your experience. The world needs elders who still believe in joy, who still rise with hope, who still believe they can make a difference, not in spite of their age, but because of it. So whatever lie has whispered, it's too late, silence it now. Replace it with the truth. I am still here, I still have breath, and as long as I'm alive, it's never too late to choose joy. You don't have to do something grand, just start. Today, pick one thing that reminds you you're alive and lean into it, because the second you believe it's not too late, the door opens and light comes rushing in. Conclusion: you still have time to be happy. So here you are at a stage in life where many people quietly settle into the background, where the world grows louder and faster, and you're often expected to simply watch it pass by. But I hope you've heard something different today. I hope you feel it in your bones. Happiness is not behind you. It's not lost in your youth. It's not something reserved for the young, the busy, or the popular. It's still possible right now, and it begins when you let go. Let go of the fear of being forgotten. Let go of the regrets that gnaw at your peace. Let go of the people who take more than they give. Let go of the clutter, the comparisons, the silence, the guilt. And most of all, let go of the lie that it's too late for you. Because it's not. You've lived through so much. You've been tested, stretched, and refined. And yet you're still here, still breathing, still capable of growth, of love, of healing. That means something. That means your purpose hasn't expired. That means joy is still within reach. And you don't need to chase after it. You don't need to earn it. You simply need to clear away what's been standing in its way. There's a kind of happiness that's quiet, not flashy. It shows up in slow mornings, in warm tea, in a walk under trees, in a long talk with someone who truly listens, in a new page of an old journal, in the sudden realization that you don't have to carry it all anymore. That happiness is waiting. It's been waiting. All you have to do now is say yes to it. You are not in the final chapter. You are in the most sacred one. The chapter where you no longer live for approval, but for peace. Where you no longer strive but surrender. Where you finally realize that the life you've been searching for isn't far away. It's beneath the weight you're now ready to set down. So set it down, friend, one piece at a time, and walk lighter. You still have time. Time to feel free. Time to laugh deeply. Time to forgive. Time to start again. Time to be happy. The rest of your life is still yours. Live it well.